Brian Collins from Hunstanton. Lockdown hit and, all physical activity just sort of, went to a hard stop. Then I just ended up putting on weight. I've been to a few other, local places. You would go and you would have an intro session, then they'd set you up with a regime, and then they may only change that once a month or once every 3 months or something, and then you just end up, you're bored half the time as well. And the other thing as well is particularly if you're going to individual gyms, you being there with 90 other people and waiting for 20 minutes. Coming here, you're done. You get everything done in like a high intensity hour. You go home, you feel really good for the rest of the day, and then it's just it's something that you start to look forward to a little bit. I didn't weigh myself before I came here because I was scared of what the scales would tell me. But I know up until prior to lockdown, the heaviest weight I ever got to was about 105 kilos, and I was definitely heavier than that. At the moment, I'm at 98 and a half. So I think I might have lost between sort of 7 to 10 kilos would be a guess. Prior to coming to the gym, I found myself moving through different episodes of anxiety and depressive episodes, and that has, evaporated. And I'm not saying, it has evaporated and will stay gone, but because I feel as though I've taken the initiative and have started working towards something, I haven't suffered with it at all. I have been given sort of medication in the past to deal with the anxiety, and I've dealt with it without that medication. I think that's a really nice, incremental step forward as well. Yeah. Particularly when you get started, it's hard to know where, what the money's going towards. But I think if you take everything outside of the gym, having somebody there with you all the time, giving you constant feedback and sort of pushing you has been incredibly helpful. But then you start to think about all the things you get outside of the gym, the help that you get with diet. I didn't realise how much of a difference that would make, and how much less I'm eating now because I'm eating more protein, which was one of the things I was struggling with a little bit. So I think like there's just so many. What's Dave Brailsford's thing? Marginal gains. Yes. There's so many little marginal gains that exactly. So it just helps to build a little bit of momentum, and you don't see the return on it straight away, but then you sort of get 5 weeks down the line, you realise, it's been really worthwhile. It's been really, I guess, a bit of a turning point, I suppose. So for that reason, getting all of that focused attention early doors helps making those small changes that you need to in your life an awful lot easier. Yeah. So for that reason, I think it's been worthwhile for me anyway, and I certainly would recommend it. I don't think I would have achieved nearly as much as I did, or certainly maybe I wouldn't have stuck to the things that I had volunteered to stick to if I hadn't have gone to those coaching calls, and if I hadn't been given a little bit of advice that actually made sticking to the plans that have been set up an awful lot easier. If I didn't get those small bits of advice, I would still be at home like eating bread all the time, and just little things that just aren't helpful and just only serve to, if not take you backwards, at least slow you down. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. I really, really didn't think I was going to enjoy it, and then I sort of came, particularly as well, like I said earlier, dealing with social anxiety, I sort of came to the gym the first time, terrified of having to speak to people. But particularly, I think I chose some good times for us to come to really small sessions. And I think particularly because the sessions, most of the time, I think I've only been to one session that maybe has more than 5 people in it total. And because of that, there's just a bit more of a smaller atmosphere, and everybody sort of talks, and for that reason it just feels a lot easier to get into and a lot more social. And then you go home and you deal with the endorphins for the rest of the day, and that's been really great as well. And it's crazy. I started to see the benefit, so that's been really good. But yeah, it's been really enjoyable.
Good. Nice.
Yeah, I mean the coaches have been genuinely fantastic. I don't think there's been so much consistency across all of the coaches. It makes a real difference. I think like particularly Ellie's Saturday mornings have always been really good. I really enjoyed coming in because it's just you've got the rest of the day free to do whatever you want to do, and just having a really nice, really high sort of tempo start to the Saturday. For me, as someone who's typically incredibly cynical and doesn't buy into this sort of... Yeah, exactly.
I haven't picked up on that at all.
Yeah, well, I hide it well, but yeah, I'm very... And I was very cynical. I was definitely cynical coming into this, but you've got to give it a bash, right? But for that reason, that's been really helpful.